How's it going, everyone? Ramtide here, and today I will be continuing the pros and cons series I started previously, and I'll be going over the Gewehr M.95 sniper rifle for the scout class. I will say that after you watch the video, if you liked it, feel free to hit that like button, and even let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below, as it gives me more motivation to continue the series. Anyway, for this video, I would like to persuade you into using this weapon a little more, as according to the BattlefieldTracker.com, the Gewehr M.95, along with its 3 variants, are on the low end of the spectrum when it comes to overall usage for the Scout class. When looking at the usage, I did combine all the variants together, with the exception of the M1903 Experimental and the Russian 1895 Trench, both of which are the least used weapons for the Scout class individually. Other than those two, the Gewehr M95 is only used more than the M1903 and its couple of variants. So with that being said, let's get into the cons of this weapon. There are 2 major downsides to this weapon when comparing it to the other weapons that are in the Scout class. One is that it has a relatively low muzzle velocity, and the other is that it does not have a sweet spot. This rifle has a muzzle velocity of 620 meters per second, which is only faster than the M1903 Experimental, the 1895 Trench, and the Martini Henry. Having a lower muzzle velocity means that the round is going to be traveling slower, so that means that you will have to lead your targets a lot more, and you will have to account for bullet drops sooner than with the other rifles. Along with not having a sweet spot, the damage drop-off of this weapon starts around the 30-meter mark. And not having a sweet spot is one of the primary reasons why I think it's one of the least used rifles for the Scout class. Now, I think that the pros of this weapon outweigh its negatives, especially for those who like to play aggressively with the Scout class. So the pros for this weapon are the reload speed, its rate of fire, and the damage multipliers that it benefits from. It does have the fastest time to kill within the first 30 meters outside of the M1903 Experimental and the Russian 1895 Trench. However, it still takes the same amount of bullets to kill an enemy as every other single-fire rifle in the game. For the reload speed, it's one of the fastest at 3 seconds flat. There aren't any single bullet reloads for this rifle, so it will pop out the entire clip and reload another one, which means that it will reload 5 rounds at a time every time you reload. Since it does reload an entire strip at a time, I did compare it to the reload speed of the other rifles when they're at empty, and it is the fastest outside of the Experimental and the Martini. Now, I did get this information from Simthic.com, and along with that, if you go and look, you will see that other rifles do have a delay before and after the reload. This means that there's a delay before the reload starts, then there's the reload, then there's another delay before you can actually shoot. When it comes to the rate of fire, outside of the 1903 Experimental and the Russian 1895 Trench, it does have the fastest rate of fire at 66 rounds per minute. The closest ones to it are the Russian 1895 variants that aren't the Trench version with 56, and then the 1903 with 53, and then after that it's the SMLE at 52. Now, I forgot to mention that it does have a higher base damage a little while ago, along with better damage multipliers when compared to the other rifles. This rifle has a base damage of 90, which then drops down to a minimum of 79. This ties it with the Martini for the highest base damage, but not only that, it also benefits from better damage multipliers over the other rifles. While a rifle like the SMLE has a 0.9 multiplier to the lower body and arms, along with a 0.75 multiplier to the legs and forearms, the Gewehr 95 has a 0.93 multiplier over these areas. This ensures that you will be doing close to max potential damage for this rifle, no matter where you hit the enemy. So overall, the reason for using this rifle is that its base damage and multipliers, combined with its rate of fire, allows you to get off a lot more rounds than with other rifles, while also doing a lot of damage as well. And even though it doesn't have a sweet spot, it can still 2-shot people at distance or kill them with a single headshot. So personally, I find this to be the best rifle to use when you are playing aggressively and find yourself in close engagements with multiple enemy players. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave your thoughts on the video or the rifle itself in the comments below. If this video gets you to use this rifle, come back and let me know what you thought of the weapon in the comments, or let me know on Twitter at RamTideIsKing. I'll leave you all with the last part of this gameplay footage, and as always, have a great day. RamTide out.
Enemy machine gun sighted.
We have lost.
I can see one of their
objective
soldiers. Push harder!
Ammunition! Take some!
Who's got ammo?